What's going on, everybody? It
Hey
is
guys.
Joe and Brian back for episode number 2. Coming to you from New York. Brought to you by the Joe Sonona team and EXP Realty.
hmm So we wanted
So,
to go over pretty much the process of becoming an agent. So anybody who's even thinking about becoming an agent, what you didn't know, and then pretty much give you the scoop of what it's about. So
there's a lot more than a lot of people don't know about exactly what it is to get into this business,
yeah,
fees and everything else.
yeah. So I mean, starting off, you need to do a 75-hour course, which is pretty easy to find. You look up online. For me myself, I found a course on Groupon that was $200 and all online. So that kind of worked for me, being the fact, I had my family, it was still working. I worked my other job, so it was easy to like kind of go around it.
Which one was that? Is that the real estate
Yeah,
university?
Long Island Real Estate University or something like that.
Oh,
But then they always have something different on like the Groupons and everything like that. But also like
yeah.
some of them have deals and stuff.
Yeah, no, I looked up. They have the realestateu.com
Okay,
is normally on the site $299. Groupon has it for $150, but right now they're doing a special online. It's only $99,
so there you go.
and I think it's good for a couple of years.
Really?
Yeah, I think you have it for a couple of years
So yeah, the one for Groupon that I did, I think you had 3 months to do it. So that's to go
to
to each
get the
one.
coupon, to use the coupon.
No, well, once you actually used it, you have 3 months to complete the course.
Oh,
So, which it seems like a lot, but it's really not. It's pretty much it goes by chapter to chapter. You read through each one, you do a couple quizzes here and there, and pretty much everything actually helps you out for like the final test, which you need to end up passing that 75-hour course. There's a test at the end. You pass that, now you're qualified to take the state exam.
the one that you did online, did it have somebody talking? Or was it all?
It was all videos, so
It
this
was
was
all videos.
all whatever topic we were talking about. Like it would look like more of a PowerPoint, and then
Yeah, that's what I had.
each clip, then it would be like, all right, well, here's a clip of the instructor, and the instructor would talk about
Yeah.
it. But again, it was a lot easier. In fact, it was on my own time,
hmm
and what I would do is I would go to work anytime I was on meal or I had a little bit of a break. I jump on it, do like a chapter or two, and then that was it. And then as it went by, you
hmm
finish it up, and then you're good to go.
It's kind of like a defensive driving course.
Yes, actually,
They
very.
have it where you can't go forward and you can't just skip through it. You got to wait until that slide is done.
Yeah,
Did you?
there's like a
And then it
time
was
limit.
over.
It's like you get on it. It's like, all right, well, this chapter, in order to get to the next one, you have to wait like 5-10 seconds.
Yeah. Did you have on the one that I had? Because I went through Real Estate University, realestateu.com, and it had questions after X amount of so like I don't know if it was every chapter or if it was kind of in the middle, kind of break it up a little bit for you to go on.
Yeah. So for mine, it was every chapter, and the main thing about the test, like the 75-hour course, and this even goes for like the state exam, it's all about the like the dictionary, the definitions. Like the definitions is huge. So like really learning the glossary, you're kind of good to go. But everything's very repetitive, so it's pretty easy as long as you
Yeah,
like.
it wasn't hard. I remember there was a lot on the acts,
What is that?
like the fair standing, like the
Oh yeah,
different,
yeah,
like yeah, like all those, like all the different dates. Like so there was a couple few dates they
yeah.
had to remember and everything. That wasn't anything crazy.
So I get it. You gotta learn that stuff, but like, when am I ever gonna go to a close and be like, hey, in 1926, like
I know.
little fun fact for you.
Yeah, it's like school, like the random stuff that you're just never gonna use. That
Yeah,
they got to let you know and get through it.
that's what I'm saying. Like those are like the dates, but like other stuff, like you actually learn a lot doing it, and teach you pretty much a broad aspect of like what real estate's about. But each chapter had like a summary, like a hit printout that you do, and then use that to study for the final exam, and then use the same one for the state exam.
Yeah, I think I just listened to it on the way home, and we'll just click through it and get done.
Yeah, I do that too. Pretty much going to work and then coming home. I would have like an hour,
Hmm.
put in headphones or have it going on my computer, and then have the car and everything like that, and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But so that wasn't too bad.
So on agentadvice.com, they graded all the different sites that administer the classes and give the test.
Yeah.
So realestateu.com, which we said before, right now they're doing it $99 for the month
Yeah.
for the one shot, got an A plus.
Okay.
The New York REI.com, which is nine hundred
So
and ninety-five
that's the one I did.
dollars. For some reason, the site's saying it's $9.95 on here. That
Really?
got a C.
Well, so I did
Um,
that one, New York
you did that one?
REI, and that was easy for me. But Groupon I had a coupon for it, so it was $200.
Yeah.
But definitely worth it.
Real Estate Express, it's $250. They got a B, and the CE Shop, which is $335, that got an A. That's a site, they have a whole bunch of training on it. Like even for now, after you become an agent, they offer training and they give you the credits for when we need
That's good.
to.
Gives you a
Do
little
yeah,
options up. I should actually look
yeah.
into it. You know what it is?
They have a lot of cool stuff on there.
Right. It's very easy. You just look up, real estate courses online, and then you'll get a whole bunch. There's always going to be a list of them that you can choose from. Look for the Groupons. Why not
Yeah,
save a buck if you can?
yeah. I would definitely without do group on.
Yeah. And then
What did you bring when you went there?
what's up?
What did you have to bring when you went to the test?
Oh, so make sure you bring a calculator because I didn't know. I thought they supplied them. So I went there thinking it was going to be you walk into a room, which first of all was $25 to like sign up for the test. Which before I get into that, I would say like while you're taking the 75-hour course, like when you know you're towards the end, I would kind of recommend signing up for the state exam because for me there was a 3-week window. So I just finished the 75-hour course, and all the information's fresh in my head, and then the soonest I could do was 3 weeks, and I was going to Aruba. So who wants to study when you're going away? So I'm like, crap, all this for nothing. I'm just gonna lose out of my head. But so I kind of, it wasn't the worst thing, but like, I had to try to keep my studies and everything there because I don't want to lose it. But definitely do that. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I go into the class. I finally, sign up for the test. I'm thinking everything's gonna be on the computer because that's the same way it was on the 75-hour course. I'm like, it's gonna be the same thing. The calculator's gonna be in the computer. Before I walk in, I felt like I was in middle school. Walk in, you had like the really old instructors who were like all sitting down. They're like, all right, Joe, all right, you can go there. So I go there, they give me a pencil, and then they give me a Scantron. So really going back there. Gave me the Scantron, and then I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I don't have a calculator. I'm like, can I use calculator? She goes, oh, you didn't bring one? I was like, no, I thought it was going to be on the computer. She goes, I don't know what to tell you. I was like, oh, God, man, I'm like, I failed. So, like, thank God, listen, I'm not a whiz at all when it comes to math. Percentages, I can kind of play around with it. So mostly it was like a real educational guess. But I passed.
Nice. I did mine down in the basement of the DMV.
Really? Mine was in a basement, too. I think that's where
some random room.
Psychological.
Yeah.
They really got to prepare you to be a real estate agent.
Yeah. I'll let you know this is how it's going to be. Be prepared to see
much.
this stuff.
Yeah, honestly, when I left that test thinking, all right, I either just passed or I just failed. So
Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome. So I think it took a month to get my results. If I passed or not.
Was it that long? I can't remember how long it took.
It was definitely because I remember because at that time. So what you need to do is before you even take the test, you need to have like a brokerage, like pretty much lined up. Like before you get your license, I'm sorry. Before you get your license, you need to have a brokerage lined up. So like, you can't just be a real estate agent without a broker. because you're getting paid by the broker. That's how it works. So
And
shop
they got to
around.
take your license and bring your license over
Yeah, exactly. So
because you
you
don't get
really
your
got to
license.
you kind of come up with an idea of like who do you want to work for, essentially. So there's a lot of real estate agencies that are out there. I mean, for me personally, I went with EXP. So I'm part of the Joe Sonoma team, and being a team itself instead of going solo is a lot more helpful because being a new agent, you don't know the paperwork. Like, tell me if I'm wrong. Like, you don't know the paperwork. It's very confusing in the beginning. I honestly went into it thinking, I'm just go up, sell a house, and then get my commission. But it's like there's a lot of like behind the scenes things that goes into it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's each company is completely different
yeah,
because you'll have your mom and pops companies, you'll have your bigger name companies, and each one kind of caters it and gives you different things, and it sounds like it's all great and everything else, but it's really what you need because you'll have some if you can grasp it and you have a lot of people already calling you up and saying, listen, I want to get a house or I want to do this, that, and everything else,
mm,
then you don't really need the leads. But then certain
yeah.
spots will give you training, but you're going to pay for it. So it's going to be $100, $200 a month just to be part of that company. And then other companies where they'll be a little bit smaller will give you training. But once you have the training in the beginning, you're done. Other ones will give you mentors.
What do you mean you're done? Like that's it? Like,
Like they'll do like a it's kind of an orientation. I heard of a couple companies where they would do like a week or 2 week orientation in the beginning to kind of let you know everything going on and whatnot. And then after that, it's okay.
like
Go
you're on
fly.
your own.
You're on your own. Go do your thing.
Yeah, I mean that's why I was like, for me, I like team. Like, if you can get on a team, me. So I'm a newer agent than most of the guys here. Um, I would definitely recommend a team because with a team, I learn a lot. Um, yeah, you just like you have like kind of that support group. If I have an
Mhm.
issue, I go to one guy. If I have an issue about um, a buyer, I go to another guy. So it makes it easier.
And you have to watch. You want to watch too because even with the teams, when you join a team with a company, you want to see how they're going to pay out and your cut is because sometimes what it'll be is that they'll want a 5% or they'll want a $200 cut and it's coming from your commissions.
You're definitely not getting 100% of your commission. So if you think you can go there
No,
and get
you never do
80% of that house, it's
because you
good luck.
figure you got to pay out for the marketing, you got to pay out for the broker. If you're
Hmm.
working in a regular company, they have each office has its own broker and assistant broker.
Yeah.
So they're there, they got to get paid, and they get paid for every person that's in there. So portion percentage of your cut is going towards them, and certain companies will charge like a seat fee. So they'll
Mhm.
do 100, $200 every single month, and then say that's it. That goes towards the company, and I'm just going to do 5% as the broker. But then you have all your other fees that come off the top. So argument's sake, say you get a $10,000 commissions check.
Yeah.
You're at 70%. So you're supposed to get $7,000. But now you got to pay out for the team, which is another 5% off of that. But then you got to pay all the fees. So if you're walking home with $3,000, $4,000, you're not getting $10,000.
But then you also get taxed on that money.
Yeah, and
So
that's the other stupid thing that a lot of new agents do is that they see a check for seven, eight, $9,000, and all of a sudden their eyes start glowing.
I'm buying a
And
car.
it's I'm going out and getting a BMW. I'm getting a brand new phone. I'm gonna hit the club. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get this. I'm gonna get that. And all of a sudden, they do. So some of them kill it for the year, and then they get killed for the year when the taxes come around. Then
Yeah,
you get
and then they really come
like,
down.
yeah. By the way, you owe us 50, 60, $70,000.
Yeah, because
You're like,
a lot of people don't put it to like you really got to put it to the side. Like you say, all right, I made 4 grand. Let me put half on the
yeah.
side just in case.
Like your best bet is if second you get into this business is talk to your tax guy
Yeah.
because he knows what you're going to be able to write off, what you're not writing off. If you have an S corporation or any corporation or anything else like that, if you're just doing it regular and you're just going into it and just kind of winging it, talk to the tax guy and see, because if he knows, all right, well, you're only writing off like $4,000 a year, so you need to take out 65%.
Right.
Like you gotta do it, like you gotta do it to it, because the IRS is gonna want the money
Yeah.
regardless.
At the end of the day, it's just going to hurt you if you decide like, oh, I'll spend it now and I'll make sure I put it towards the end. You're gonna be
Yeah,
playing catch up at that point.
yeah.
Like
They're gonna be scrounging October, November, December, where it's the slowest months, trying to get a deal closed or getting a deal anything, just to pay for the taxes when it's gonna come around in April. You
which
end up
ends
screwing
up
yourself
being
over. Yeah.
yeah. So I would
Um.
definitely recommend keeping a little off to the side, especially
Mhm.
when you get into it. Just doing that.
Yeah.
Um, yes, I mean some brokerages. So I know we're talking about the commissions. Like they can really vary. So like when you start off, there's a lot of companies that will give you a less of a commission. So like a 50-50 or 60-40. So meaning 50-50 meaning pretty much half of that commission of that sale is going to the brokerage. Or, same thing, 60-40. You're keeping 60%, but 40% is going to the brokerage. And
And it
then,
never moves. That's
right.
for the year.
You know what I mean? I mean, you could talk to the brokerage and try to like, just like any other job, trying to like, you could talk to see if you can get your, commission a little bit higher.
Mhm.
But that all comes in time. So that's one of the
Oh,
big things you want to look at.
and the other thing is that when you start interviewing companies, it's different and it's weirder, because we're so used to going on interviews for jobs where the person behind the desk is the one that's talking to us to see if we're a good fit for the company. When you start doing this, you're interviewing different places to see, like, what are they going to give me, what's going to be the best thing, because they're ultimately trying to get you onto their company because they can make money.
Right.
So go to a couple different spots, look them up online, talk to people that work there, see where everybody's at. Like, really do your due diligence, because every company is going to have a plus. Everyone's going to have those leads. Everybody's going to have they have amazing commission splits, and everybody's awesome. And it's the name that you're getting onto and everything else like that, which is a whole whatever. But if I've known guys that were in big companies, moved to smaller companies, and it tripled their business. So the name does not mean anything, because you're not selling a name, you're selling yourself. So when you go sit down and you talk to these companies, you want to see exactly what they're offering
Mm-hmm.
and see what's going to fit best for you and your family, if you have a family or anything else. If it's going to be you need the leads because you just have no other place to get them, you have no clue what the hell you're doing, then you got to go for a spot with leads, but understand you got to pay for them. And if
Right.
you go with a company that's giving you leads, you're theirs. They're giving you leads.
So when Brian's telling you like about the leads and stuff like that, there's a way to like what they do is you're pretty much paying for these leads. So like for instance, Zillow leads. When someone goes on Zillow and requests for an agent, you know, the agent who pays for a Zillow lead will get that client, get that person who's interested in buying a home. But that also asks for money. So it's not for some of them it's not cheap.
Yeah,
So
it definitely gets up there.
yeah.
And then if you're going in, if they have a mentor or not, or a mentor program, sometimes they'll give you somebody and say, all right, you're going to go on, you're going to have a mentor that's going to show you the ropes, answer any questions you have. You'll go to open houses. They'll sit down for the listings and everything else in the presentations,
Mm-hmm.
but you're going to split everything down the middle. After that, then you're on your own. Then certain companies will do a gradual. They'll kind of go up like 5, 6 deals, let you kind of go up a little bit more on your commissions, and then you're on your own.
Yeah.
Other spots are just throw you right to the wolves, do your thing. We're giving you 80%, so go get your money.
Yeah.
So it's all definitely all different, and then the training comes into factor too. Like you don't, it's like any other job. Like you could read a manual and look at it. You're not going to walk on the job and be like, I know everything about this job. I know how to
Right.
do everything.
Everything makes you
Like,
look better too. So
mm-hmm,
the more training you have, it's like anything else. The more training you have,
yep,
the better you are, or the better you appear.
mm-hmm. You want to see what the company's more of a commercial company. Whether if you're going in, you're doing residential, they're really not going to work with you that much. Or if they're residential, or if they're a luxury type company where now I need to go out and I need to go buy nice suits or nice dresses and everything else,
Yeah.
because there's an image they have doing when it comes down to luxury real estate.
Mhm.
If they're gonna help you do advertising for them, like they have a marketing section set up so that you can make all they help you do all the ads and everything else to get your name out there and brand it and everything.
Right.
Um, and then teams.
Yeah.
Teams are a big thing. Like you got to mesh with the teams, and the team leader has to be good. Like if the team leader is not good, and it's just someone who is just trying to make a quick buck, just by having as many people on their team as possible, because just like any other company out there that just wants to hire and hire and hire and does not care who falls off, because the
Yeah.
more people I hire, the more money I get, you're just going to fall at the wayside and you just become another number.
Because if you have a good team leader, pretty much it's someone to look up to, like someone you actually learn from, and that's a company you stay in. So like, or even look for. To be honest with you, I mean, yes, there's people who are like, oh, look at me, look how much money I'm making, but like at the end of the day, like you got to make it work for you.
Yeah.
You know.
And plus the teammates. Like me and Joe are on, like we were saying, the Joe Sonona team, and there's no one powerhouse. Everybody contributes. Everybody does their thing, and there's really no, like, you don't want a team where you got that one guy who's making a ton of money and let you know he's making a ton of money, and then
Yeah.
let you know how he's carrying the team, and everybody else sucks.
Yeah. At the end of the day, everyone has to eat. So it's pretty
Yeah.
much, you know, everyone gets a little bit of the pie.
Hmm.
And
And you have somebody to call with questions.
yeah, especially if you're doing another job and this is something that's going to be on a side team because solo is a lot. This is going to be difficult. You
It's
know what?
hard. It's hard when you first
Yeah.
start.
You know, it was one thing like when I first became like did like the whole test. I didn't realize how much I had to pay up front. Like
Oh yeah,
I thought I'd get my license and I'm good to go. Bro, it's a lot.
yeah. It's not just the $100 for the class and then 25 for the test. Like there's MLS dues, there's LIBOR dues, there's um.
Bro, I'm looking through
That.
some of my receipts right now. So I have so like the state licensing fees was like $500. So that was 500.
That's every September.
That's what I just starting off was like 500. Then I had to pay 168. I think I roughly spent around like $700,
Yeah,
$800.
and it depends on when you go in too, because if you go in after one, it's prorated. So sometimes, depending on when you go on, might
Mhm.
be a little bit less. But sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot if you wait too long, because if they do in September, you come on in July,
Yeah,
you pay that little portion, but then the dues are owed in September.
yeah. And then you have sometimes it's like the brokerage dues. So
Yeah,
that
every
could be a
month.
monthly payment. And then what kind of stinks is the fact that if you're new, and then or not even if you're new, if you had a rough like a month, 2 months, 3 months, we haven't really gotten deals like that adds up. But
Hmm.
like so what got me through it or like even thinking about it is that even if I did one deal, right? If I even make that one deal in the next 2 years, I made my money's worth.
Hmm.
I paid off all my dues and then I made a little bit of a profit at the end. Not just
Yep.
one deal. So yes, when you get in, it's definitely overwhelming because I was handing my credit card. I was like,
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah. My
um,
wife's like, "This better work out. This
yeah,
better
I
work
mean,
out." Like it'll
it
work out.
stinks. It's like if you haven't had a deal yet and like you're seeing your credit card, it's like, all right, $80, $80 a month, 90
Mhm.
bucks, whatever it is. Like you're like, oh, do I
You
need
know,
this?
it's that one deal that you need to get over.
Yeah, that's it.
That first deal, it's a wrap. Like you're good after that first deal because now your name's out there, now you have credibility. It's that first deal that everybody's kind of like tiptoeing in the water, and they don't really know, and it's kind of like it's the hardest one to get. But
What
once you get that first one, you're good.
when you started out, what did you do? Like try to get your name out.
When I started, I worked for a mom and pop place that does very well.
Okay.
Um, it didn't work out for me there. I just started just reading and just videos and classes and everything else.
Yeah.
Went to another spot where the monthly dues were insane.
Mm.
Didn't do any, but just wasn't feeling it there. Um, but it was just the training. Like, and I just kind of got myself onto, I, I need to know more than everybody else
Okay.
because I have a habit of sounding like an idiot. So I don't want to sound like an idiot when I'm doing this. So
Yeah.
the one thing that I pride myself on with when it comes down to being a cop is, and I was told the second that I came out, is that if you're going to open your mouth, you're going to say something, you
What
better be
pretend like you
sure
know
that
what
you're
you're
going to be able
talking
to
about?
back it up. Yeah. And make sure you can back it up.
Or just have the gift of gab and just keep talking until people are like,
Yeah.
okay.
Where the head spins and they're just like, fine,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense. I'll convince you the sky's green. And you're like,
Yeah.
yep, yep,
Yeah.
sky's a
Yeah.
little tint of green in
Yes.
there.
Yeah. So we done? Okay. Where do I need to sign? Just let me sign it. We're good? We're good?
But
So
yeah, no,
yeah,
I definitely know what you're
studying.
talking about though.
There's a lot of studying. That's why I got all the certifications. It was just because, like in my head, like I was never good in school. Never good in school. Hated school. Hated college. Hate studying. Hate reading.
Right.
Hate math. Everything about real estate, I did not like. But started doing the wholesaling. Did that for a while. This kind of intrigued me, and for
Mm.
some reason, this whole real estate thing just kind of clicked.
So close,
And
right?
it's like interesting. And I just got my commercial certification when people that I know for years that I told, thank you, that
Yes.
I did it, they were like, "How did you pass the math part?" I was like, "It just, I don't know,
Yeah. If
kind of
you
came."
would talk to any of my friends throughout like high school and college, like math was definitely not my thing. That's why when I went in and had the calculator, I'm like, I'm done. 3 months down the drain. Just
Yeah,
because they said,
finished.
oh, you didn't give me a calculator. But yeah, no, I agree.
But yeah, it was it's been a up and down 2 years,
Yeah.
but it all works out in the end because
Yeah.
it's one of the only businesses besides stocks or mortgages or anything else where you could do a deal or two and be 10,000 out.
Yeah. So for me, I like starting off, what I would do is again, you gotta do something like works for you or like try to incorporate in like your life. So I would take my daughter out, put her in the stroller, and I would just do walks around the neighborhood. So finally, I'm like, wait a minute, since I'm already doing this, I might as well just start doing door hangers. So I would walk up down the block, throw a door hanger in. If I see the person outside, make a little bit of conversation. They see my daughter, let's spark up the conversation, and then and that's it. It's pretty much get your name out there. Just don't be afraid. That's the one thing I would I would say to like any new agent is be patient because deals will come, and also you know just don't be afraid to talk to people. It's really it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You got to talk to everybody. Talk to
You know,
everybody. If you're not going to pick up the phone and make calls, you go out, hand your card out to everybody. I've rolled through 1,000 cards already, just handing them out because I did the phone for years and I hate it.
yeah,
But
that's not too bad. Talk to
it's not. It really is not. Once it gets in the flow of it again, it's not bad.
the worst they can say is no. Just remember that.
Yeah, and you have to look at them.
Not gonna hurt you. The worst thing, I mean, the worst they can do is probably curse at you. But other than that,
Yeah, it's me
they're
just
not
hang
gonna
up the
beat you
phone.
up. So at the end of the
Yep.
day, that's pretty much all in all. Just starting up to be a real estate agent, I definitely recommend it. I mean, it works for me. I'm sure
Absolutely.
Tom say the same thing. Works for him, and you never know
It's
till you try.
definitely nope. It's definitely a fun business. On the description, I'm going to have a list of all the websites to go to sign up for the course. Also, obviously, we told you already. We're both agents. Anybody has any questions, concerns? They have anything they want to hear about on the podcast?
Yeah, anything.
Um, you want to know a little bit more about real estate? You guys are looking to sell, buy, invest, or any commissions or anything like that? Hit us up. the emails on the bottom, phone numbers are on the bottom. If you got to get in contact with us, either or text message, email, any which way that you guys want to get in contact with us, please do. We're here to answer all your questions. We have your back when it comes down to anything.
Yeah.
Want to thank everybody for watching this episode number 2.
A
Please,
little bit better than the first one.
yes, a lot
Yep.
shorter.
Little.
Subscribe, hit the bell, share it, tell everybody that you know about it. We're gonna have a lot more coming out. We're gonna have a lot of interviews coming out with everybody involved in the business, to give a little more insight from investing to wholesaling all the way up to the appraisals and inspections. That's it.
Yeah.
Another episode down.
That's it. We'll get stronger together.
Yep. All
All
right,
right,
everybody
guys.
have a great holiday. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
See you.